iPhone because it was so yellow. The sky, the camera didn't pick it up, made it more blue. The whole sky was like yellow and orange, and it looked just really space agey. So I shot a video of it just because I think stuff's really cool and pretty, and people don't get what that means. I mean, I just like, what is going on out there? I mean, I just don't understand anymore. Because again, I don't think of myself as that smart, and I mean, I'm like light years ahead of the general public. And I think it's up to us that know how things really work to a certain extent to help the cynical, arrogant, dumb people. Another thing is how arrogant, dumb idiots are. I was about to say dumbasses, but I guess I did. Let's take another call. Chris in Virginia, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, how are you, Doc?
I'm all right, brother. How are you doing?
I'm not doing too bad. Hey, I just wanted to ask you if you had gotten a chance to look at the inconsistencies between the Cambridge report that was posted on the Wall Street Journal and then the FBI indictment in terms of the carjacking?
I mean, there's a ton of inconsistencies and weirdness and things. I mean, the whole story is just a disaster zone and clearly is some type of staged event. With these guys working for intelligence and having aliases, and definitely the older brother. I mean, he was definitely McVeigh or Lee Harvey Oswald. We don't know all the particulars. We just know the pre-build-up, the way they handled it after. This was a scripted event. They bare minimum knew it let it happen. Bare minimum.
Absolutely. And the Cambridge report actually states that the younger brother, the two brothers were together in a Honda Civic, and one of them approached the door to the Mercedes and tapped on the window. The FBI report says that only one brother went into the Mercedes and then picked up the second brother, drove across town to pick up the second brother.
Well, listen, here's the deal. A lot of times they don't know what happened right away, so that's one reason stories get changed. But, you know, they said we're going to burn Dorner down, then they do it and said we didn't mean that. This is congenital lying. I mean, the Delta Force killed the Branch Davidians under orders. They protested it but followed orders they shouldn't have. And that even came out in Congress. The average person doesn't even know that because they're so dumbed down. The people perish for lack of knowledge. And bottom line, get back to the Bill of Rights, Constitution, due process, checks and balances, and then they can't overrun us. Cut government, cut taxes, kick globalists out, abolish the Federal Reserve. There are the solutions. Great call. God bless you, Chris. All right, I got to go. For Clint, Bill, and Robert, I apologize to you. And I'm always frustrated with myself because I want to get to all this news. I get overheated. I start ranting and raving. And then by the nighttime show, I get a little bit more focused when I'm burnt out. But thanks for putting up with me. Nightly news tonight, 7 o'clock Central. PrisonPlanet.tv. Be sure and be there, 7 o'clock Central. Hello, I'm Alex Jones. Myself, my family, the Infowars.com team want to relay to you and your families that we are intensifying our efforts against the globalist on every front. Infowars.com is leading the fight against the technocrats, but we can't do that without your help. By getting the films, bumper stickers, and t-shirts at Infowars.com, you will wake up people in your area and support.
Buy the 1 to 2 month sample package and enjoy soaps that are twice as good as what you're using now. Or save big with a 1 to 2 year supply of soaps for all your cleaning needs. This is an amazing deal. You can save thousands of dollars and you will love the way real soap makes you feel. See them on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091 for a free catalog.
Devastating events like earthquakes, tornadoes, floods, hurricanes, or the threat of martial law have highlighted the need for Americans to prepare for emergencies. As a result, millions are stockpiling food, gold, and weapons. But how will these items help if you or one of your loved ones becomes ill? Supernatural Silver is the ultimate tool to prepare you for a medical emergency. Supernatural Silver is a natural antibiotic that is uniquely effective against bacteria, viruses, molds, and fungus, and is remarkable for wound care. Taken internally or used topically, it can help keep you safe from deadly pathogens. Supernatural Silver has over 500 different uses and a long-term shelf life, making it the #1 choice of preppers across the country. To find out how this amazing new technology can help you be prepared, go to supernaturalsilver.com. Use the promo code PREPARED for 20% off your entire order and like us on Facebook.
A little over a year ago, I began to do a lot of research into why, even though I had a pretty good-sized meal, that I was still starving. And my research led me to a well-known fact that most of the soils that we grow our crops on here in the United States and across the industrialized world are almost completely depleted of almost all of the key minerals and trace elements that our bodies need to rebuild themselves, fight off cancer, and be healthy. I then searched out the best vitamin and mineral company out there and discovered Youngevity. The Youngevity products are designed to give you the real nutrition you need, and once you've got that, you don't have to eat as much to be satisfied. I've lost 37 pounds in 2 months, simply getting the vitamins and minerals I need. Check it out for yourself. It's incredible. Go to InfoWarsTeam.com today and order your first canister of Beyond Tangy Tangerine Complete Multivitamin Mineral Complex Dietary Supplement. That's InfoWarsTeam.com.
Crashing through the lies and disinformation. It's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of questions swirling around the tragic Boston bombings of 8-9 days ago, last Monday. Monday before this Monday. But what we know undoubtedly is that the power structure and the propaganda media is seizing on this, basically foaming at the mouth, saying you've got to give up all your rights, the entire Bill of Rights, no First Amendment, no Second, no Fourth, no Fifth, no 10th, cameras, microphones, street lights listening to you and watching you, checkpoints everywhere. Entire cities must be ordered to be on lockdown anytime there's a gunman anywhere. Every city needs tens of millions of dollars worth of bomb detecting and destroying robots, warrantless searches, just tens of billions to be spent on more high-tech cameras, on. Bloomberg and King and McCain are all in the news saying we have got to basically abolish the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. Meanwhile, 520 plus people were shot and killed, many of them innocents, by gangbangers in Chicago. In Chicago, just in 2012, and they're set to break that number this year, in a city where they've taken all of the citizens' guns. A great old American city of Chicago, where we're on the radio on 1530 AM. And you look at everywhere else with crime off the chart, it's where guns are highly restricted. Like Boston, like New York, like Detroit, like Los Angeles. Look at cities in Connecticut where they have very strong gun control laws. And you look at areas with almost no gun control, lower crime rates. And I know we've talked about this ad nauseum, but the system is engaged in a cold-blooded power trip. A cold-blooded power grab because they get hundreds of billions of dollars a year. In fact, guys, pull up the 2012 budget for Homeland Security. If memory serves, one part of it was $84 billion. And then there was supplemental of another $60 billion, and then other funding, just to the anti-terrorism part, mind you, not the other agencies. There's 37 agencies under it. But the last number I saw was over $200 billion a year. And a few months ago, and Aaron Dykes wrote about this, Big Sis came out and she said in the press conference, she said, you will not cut our funding. And it was a cut in the growth of it, of more than 10% a year, or there will be more terror attacks. Now, let me ask you, is there a motive to let terrorism happen, or provocateur terrorism, or stage terrorism, to get $200 billion a year domestically? And that's what this is. You go to college now, it's all about scholarships and Homeland Security, data mining, how to spy, how to profile. Hey, how about we profile the out-of-control kleptocratic government? How about we look at those groups? The budget request was $57 billion, and they got 47.4, but that's just for the overall office of DHS, not for the 37 agencies. If you count all the money, quote, law enforcement agencies or quasi-law enforcement Homeland Security agencies, I think it's about 10 of the 30-plus agencies. It's over $200 billion. And now under cybersecurity, they're talking about a budget for cybersecurity over $50 billion a year. And they're talking about every 4 years when they get budgetary oversight and then refund it, kind of like the FAA is funded in 4-year spurts. They're talking about over, again, $200 billion. So we're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars. Just like the Pentagon budget is $1.1 trillion a year. Guys, check that. Pull up Pentagon budget. But then they have supplemental that's over $800 billion a year, and that's not even counting black funding, secret funding, which is estimated to be 15 to 100 billion. No one really knows. They use narcotics traffic, you name it. Global narcotics traffic into the U.S. is 500 billion. Total global narcotics profits are estimated to be well over $1 trillion. And you heard it right. The United States is almost half the world market in illegal drugs. And I tell you, the government had a great strategy to make drugs illegal, hype them up as cool with Hollywood, put a lot of money into it so it's seen as avant-garde and nouveau riche and a get-rich-quick scheme. Yeah, look at that article from the Center for Strategic Budgetary Assessments. It says the DOD includes a $553 billion in discretionary funding, $5 billion in mandatory funding, an additional $118 billion requested wars in Afghanistan. By the way, again, these are whitewash numbers. If you pull up the numbers, it's almost $2 trillion some years. And I tell you, these numbers we're getting from government sites are absolute crud. Because I've seen them break down the numbers in Congress when we talk about the real cost of the entire thing. In fact, watch this. Watch this. Pentagon budget over $1 trillion. Watch this. Pentagon budget over $1 trillion. And then you learn it's actually over that. $1 trillion Pentagon budget cut is possible but not wise. Now that's a decade-long cut. Defense, $2 trillion divides Obama and Romney. Defense spending to spike $2.1 trillion under Romney. $1.2 trillion for national security. There it is. Unbelievable. The point is that they reported on $2 trillion missing 2 days before 9/11. Watch this. $2 trillion missing. Pentagon. Look at this. Go ahead and punch this up for me, guys. CBS News. $2.3 trillion missing from Pentagon. So I'm sorry, it's $2.3 trillion. That's the type of stuff that we're talking about here. And that's why they want this takeover. Now, let me just stop here and reset on air so I can calmly attempt to go over all of this today. Let me tell you some of the news that I'm going to be breaking down here. Number one, they are using the events of 9/11 to radically re-engineer this society. And despite all the basic liberties and freedoms that have been overrun, butchered, attacked, dismantled, decimated, firebombed by the criminals that have invaded the country, who want to be above the law under globalism and want to tie us down with bureaucratic tyranny, classical tyranny in our face, it did not keep us safe. You notice that we're in debt. The country's going bankrupt. We're hated worldwide. Over 1 million Iraqis are dead. 7,000 U.S. troops just from combat injuries. That's a conservative number. Tens of thousands more committed suicide. All of this going on in this psychopathic globalist push for world domination. And now you have 400 troops, 2,000 police, down there at the Boston Marathon, searching people's bags, you name it. A drill going on right where the bomb happens. And it did not stop the terrorist attack that killed 3 people and injured 100, that you would think was the end of the world. I mean, they're having bomb scares in hundreds of cities and towns. Total panic. If a box blows out of the back of a truck, in Phoenix, they've got bomb squads for hours, shutting everything down and ordering everyone to evacuate. And if you don't evacuate, they come to your house and drag you out by your hair and point guns at you. And I saw on CNN a woman who lived by a park in Boston, in the suburb of Watertown, and she's out there with her kids, and the helicopter flies over and says, "Get in your house!" And the police drive by in hundreds of photos and videos and point guns at people. And I mean, it could be a 10-year-old blonde-haired kid, clearly not the suspect, or it could be a 14-year-old black woman, black girl, black child. I've seen the video, and they point guns at her. Yeah, oh, you must be the suspect. Yeah, we're looking for a 19-year-old Caucasian, literally the definition of a Caucasian from the Caucasus. You're looking for a white guy, and here, let's have a blonde woman walk out with her family, and then she lowers her hands for a minute. Let's poke her and slap at her and tell her, "Get your hands up, you piece of trash." And the videos and the photos from our listeners pouring in, they'll get up in their window and start taking photos of the cops, and the cops aim a gun right at them. It's all about them putting your hands on you. Take the Texas State Police. And guys, cue this video up for the next segment for TV viewers. For radio listeners, just type in 2 girls, 1 glove. Infowars.com. And they pull the women over. No due process, no nothing. They claim that they thought they might be speeding. And they sit there with the same glove and go in both sisters' orifices. I mean, a total assault, ladies and gentlemen. You can, get, who knows, hepatitis, anything. You don't know. E. coli, who knows? And I mean, and the trooper forces her hand in. I mean, you could see it into their body. And the state police came out and said, yeah, we're going to do this to everybody. We defend that. That's a good idea. We're going to pull you over, including your children. We're going to ram our hands into your body. In fact, they had a big poll out just again last week. We did one a few months ago, but they don't want that. Americans said, no, we want proctology exams. See, and the government wants to put its hands in you. This is rape. Now, no one bought it. The grand jury indicted the state police. They'll get off, but the state police in Texas, at least the people running it, want to pull your wife over, aim guns at you, all right, get her up against the car, and go into your body looking for drugs that the government publicly ships in. This is martial law. We're going to break it all down straight ahead.